Measure psychological safety, so where you are now and every year thereafter. You need to get some robust data so you know where to focus your attention. Now, the biggest mistake that organisations are making is this. Well, firstly, they can start by changing the narrative around psychological safety. So most organisations think that psychological safety is all about being able to take risks, make mistakes, and express their opinions without fear of judgment. So I'm referring to what is known as interpersonal risk taking. The term interpersonal relates to the dynamics of relationships and communication among individuals. When organisations focus on these areas, they associate psychological safety with effective communication and trust among team members. So that's what most people think psychological safety is. But I want to set the record straight, okay? That isn't what psychological safety is. So let me tell you what psychological safety actually is. And I'm going to start with my definition of it. Psychological safety in the workplace is rooted at the individual level, where intrapersonal awareness cultivates a sense of safety and confidence to bring your authentic self to work. This intrapersonal foundation acts as a catalyst, so it plays a pivotal role in cultivating positive team dynamics and collaboration. So let's just unpick that a little bit. What do I mean by intrapersonal awareness? So here I'm referring to an individual's understanding of their own thoughts, emotions, and behaviours. It encompasses a myriad of cognitive, emotional, behavioural aspects that influence, well, many things really, like emotional and mental well-being, thought processes, emotional responses, and behaviour. Now, this self-awareness is crucial because it directly impacts an individual's performance and behaviour in the workplace. Recognising and understanding your internal processes can contribute to better personal leadership, effective communication and decision making, and overall enhanced performance in the workplace. So you've got to remember that psychological safety starts with you. It's not about the collective and it's not about one-to-one interactions. It's not about communication or trust, it's about you. If your team isn't psychologically safe, the issues lie with individuals, not within the collective. You need to start with work at the individual level, not with the team. And this is where most organisations fall down early on in their journey. So going back to that definition I just shared with you, it's vital to start with the intrapersonal aspects or raising your self-awareness. This often leads individuals to feel confident to bring their authentic self into the workplace. Once you have that foundation, then you can start working on communication, team dynamics, and collaboration. You need to make sure that everyone has the self-awareness, the communication tools, and collaboration skills to thrive at work. These aren't something that you're taught in school, unfortunately. So you need to provide training and allow people to practice these skills in a safe environment. When we talk about a psychologically safe workplace, we're talking about a workplace where individuals and teams can thrive and achieve their full potential. Organisations like to jump straight into creating that environment where the team can thrive before doing the groundwork to ensure that individuals can thrive. So in terms of your question, how can businesses improve psychological safety in the workplace? 1, start with the individual. 2, provide training, the tools, and a safe space to develop their self-awareness and understanding of their authentic self. We need to equip people with the tools and knowledge to thrive in the workplace, not leave it to chance. The third thing is to give them time to practice and hone their communication skills. The fourth is to actively work on team dynamics. So I encourage your teams to find out more about each individual team member's personality, personal and work boundaries, work preferences, communication preferences, and celebration preferences. And 5, create safe spaces for teams to learn how to work better together. Now, I'll also highly recommend that you look at the 5 pillars of psychological safety. So that's the methodology we use here at the Psychological Safety Institute. The 5 pillars are a comprehensive framework being used around the world to create fully inclusive workplaces. These 5 pillars were designed with multinational corporations in mind and have been rigorously tested and validated by human behaviour experts. They provide practical support, enabling individuals and teams to take an active role in creating a psychologically safe workplace. They cultivate an environment where organisations and their people thrive. Yeah, this is a great question, actually. It's one I get asked quite frequently from organisations. I want to start with this. Psychological safety underpins inclusion. So without psychological safety, you will not have an inclusive culture. If you want to create an inclusive culture, you need to start with the foundations. So start with an environment where people feel safe. Once they feel safe, valued, and able to express their authentic self, the groundwork for genuine inclusion has been established. Psychological safety serves as the bedrock upon which the pillars of diversity, equity, and inclusion stand. Neglecting psychological safety in favour of other initiatives can undermine the very essence of a truly inclusive culture. So, prioritise psychological safety from the outset. It will lead to a significant shift in your overall organisational culture. The shift goes beyond just a surface level approach to diversity and inclusion, as it addresses the core factors that enable individuals to thrive. A couple of other key points here. So, psychological safety needs buy-in from everyone. Establishing a psychologically safe workplace is a collective responsibility. It's up to every single individual to play their part in creating an environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and safe to be their authentic self. You need to make sure that you equip everyone with the tools that they need to create a psychologically safe workplace. So one where everyone can bring their authentic self to work and individuals and teams can thrive. And remember, improving psychological safety is an ongoing process that requires commitment and effort from every single person in the organisation. So you can start by raising your awareness on psychological safety. So what is it? Why is it important? And how can you contribute to creating that psychologically safe workplace? Provide tools and training to support your staff. Get everyone involved. So start with that conversation about bringing your authentic self to work. You could read my book, The Authentic Organisation, How to Create a Psychologically Safe Workplace, which is going to be published by Wiley in June 2024. Once you've read it, then buy copies for every member of staff. Give them time to read it, and then set up working groups to put into practice the principles and teachings in there. Measure psychological safety, so where you are now and every year thereafter. You need to get some robust data so you know where to focus your attention. Now, the biggest mistake that organisations are making is this. When collecting data on something else, they ask a few questions about psychological safety. They're tagged onto something else or something completely unrelated. So what's that doing? Well, it's indicating that employee safety is not high priority to the organisation. To get some robust data on how psychologically safe your organisation is, here's what you need to do. You need to focus solely on it. You need to ask specific psychological safety questions. Guarantee anonymity. Provide results on team, department, directorate and organisational level, but never on an individual level. Now, there are many different tools, checklists, guidelines out there to get a snapshot of where you are in terms of psychological safety. If you're looking for accurate and robust data on how psychologically safe your organisation is, let me briefly introduce you to Lux. Lux is a cutting-edge diagnostic tool designed to measure psychological safety within multinational organisations. It's trusted by multinational organisations worldwide, and it is the catalyst for workplace transformation. It serves as your ally in assessing, identifying and addressing areas for improvement, creating psychologically safer workplaces where individuals and teams can truly thrive. Now, Lux leaves no stone unturned, okay? So it comprehensively measures psychological safety across the 5 pillars of psychological safety. Once the results are in, we send you a report and access to the dashboards so you can see all of the data. Alongside the data, we also provide you with bespoke guidance on how to improve psychological safety in your organisation. Now, the reason why I designed Lux was to give me the data that I need to lobby government. So I want to embed psychological safety into workplace legislation. So that's kind of the background to why it was developed. Lux has undergone rigorous validation and testing through the University of Cambridge to ensure its effectiveness and relevance across diverse organisational landscapes. I can't iterate enough how important it is to measure psychological safety regularly. Once you know what areas you need to target, so that might be geographical location, a specific department or a team, or a certain aspect within the 5 pillars of psychological safety, then you can target your interventions more appropriately instead of taking that more kind of scattered and inconsistent approach. So there's a few ideas in there on how to create a more inclusive workplace. I hope that helps. I believe we all have the right to feel safe at work. So firstly, I hope that I plant that seed for individuals to think about this and that they leave feeling empowered to take action as a result of my time with them. On a practical level, it's all about insights on psychological safety, our research findings here at the Institute, sharing personal experiences, raising their self-awareness, providing practical strategies that they can implement straight away, and also sparking inspiration to have those conversations within their organisations and their teams to ensure that everyone in the organisation can thrive.